Hi, everybody. Welcome to our video.
Hey guys.
My name is Joe Bladek, and I'm really excited to be here with you to do our video series. I'd like to introduce our special guest, Andrew, the realtor. He's got around 10 years experience in the real estate industry, a real wealth of knowledge in real estate. He's also married. He's actually in real estate specifically. He's been in the top 5 and 10% for a number of years now. So welcome to the show, Andrew. Really excited to start this video series with you.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Joe. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I'll introduce yourself as I've done many times in the past. That's Joe Bladek. He's a mortgage broker. Been in the business similar to myself about 10 years, maybe even a little bit longer. He is married with 2 kids, so he's got one above me. And he did a while back to go from agent to broker. I always mention it because it's an extra step in a business. Means Joe not only has a wealth of knowledge and information, but he also knows the business itself very well. And he is my main go-to guy for financing for myself and for my clients.
Thank you very much, Andrew. That's a real nice introduction. And I'm really glad that I've been able to help your clients and yourself out over the last few years. And just knowing you as well personally has been wonderful. Just want to remind everyone, as you're watching our video series, the top Google searches for 2021 in real estate. Really exciting topics, Andrew.
Oh, absolutely. Let's face it, Joe, you and I, and some folks don't know, we've been doing this kind of stuff for years now. We've been happily giving away information about real estate market, about mortgages, and a lot of other things as well in terms of financing. And in this particular case, when we looked at the actual searches, we realized that the questions on Google by hundreds of thousands and millions of Google searchers were also the same questions you and I have been getting for years. So we thought, hey, listen, what better topic to talk about than the specific things that people actually want to know about, both on Google and in person when we speak to people. And so I think these topics can be amazing. So for those watching, do take a few minutes to watch each one. A lot of good information there.
Thanks, Andrew. And not only is there a lot of good information, but if you guys want to get started on anything and look to get a pre-approval or meet with Andrew, we'd love to do that. And if you do contact us to get your pre-approval started, there is a gift card promotion where you'll be entered into a gift card draw for a $100 HomeSense or Canadian Tire gift card. And for that, you can definitely outfit your new home with some real nice goodies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As I mentioned, we're really excited about our video series. Please like, share, and comment if there's anything that you think any of your friends or family might be able to use. Send this video to them. And if you yourself have a comment for either myself or Andrew or a question, leave it in the comment section below or send us a private message and we'll be happy to answer you.
Absolutely.
Let's get right into our topic. So today's topic is, should I wait to sell until I can find a new home? And I know that I get this question a lot as a mortgage broker, but it's not really a mortgage broker question. Andrew.
You said this question comes up all the time. Clients are always asking this because it's when you do own a property, when there's 2 transactions involved, there is always this issue that comes up. So I guess probably before even answering, I'd like to give context to kind of prerequisite. The prerequisite to the answer are 3 things. You have to know the value of your home. Of course, you'd have to speak to a realtor about that, find out what the comparable sales of your type of property have been going for. So knowing the value of your home. You can't know it to the finest cent because the home hasn't been sold yet. However, you can get a very accurate estimate, certainly accurate enough for you to know how to make your next steps. The second thing you need to know is the closing costs. You have to know closing costs, things like land transfer tax, lawyers, realtor fees, among moving fees, anything else that might be involved, especially with the financing, which of course Joe can help. And speaking to Joe, the third thing is you have to have your financing in order, be it a pre-approval, loans, whatever it may be. You have to have this in order. So in essence, until you've spoken to a mortgage broker and a realtor and gotten your specific financial situation and your home evaluation situation set, you can't even get into the steps of actually buying first or selling first. So that's the first thing. And Joe, before I get a little input from you, I'll mention the first thing after having done that you should need to consider. And of course, this is done with a realtor in a conversation that is actually very important. So the first thing is, how long does a home like yours sit on the market in your area? That's the first thing. The second part of that is, how long does a home sit on the market in the area or areas you're buying in? Joe, I'm sure you've seen, you're driving to work or you're driving to the store. Some places, for sale sold. Other places, it's been sitting for a while and you drive by and you wonder what's wrong with that house. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. I see it all the time. It's interesting because one house will go up and then be sold right away, like you're saying, and then another one, it could be a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah. And you have to know, is it the house or is it the area?
That's right.
Obviously, if it's the house, that's an anomaly. If it's the area, you need to know, I guess, like how many days on market that home or homes like it are sitting before they sell. So once you know that, so here are the answers to knowing that specific ratio: days on the market in your area versus days on the market where you're buying. If the days on market in your area are as low, I use the word low because we're talking the GTA. If the numbers are as low or lower than the place you're buying, then you can feel free to buy first. What that means is homes in your area are selling at the same rate in terms of time as homes where you're buying, meaning that if you buy something, you can sell something very quickly, have a proper closing, work out the proper closing with your realtor, and you can have no problem there. So in that case, you can feel comfortable, as many do right now in the current market we're in. You can be comfortable buying first. And of course, that's the case with most folks now. Now, if the days on market in your area, I'm gonna have my little notes here, is much higher than the place you're going, that's when you need to consider possibility of selling first. What that means is it'll take longer to sell your house versus where you're buying. Now, admittedly, some people have steel spines and they're comfortable not knowing, and they can just buy a property and hope for the best, and maybe their house is going to be the one that moves very quickly. For the most part, people do try to work out these ratios in such a way that fits with their psychology, which is actually the next thing that honestly has to be taken into consideration. Just recently, I've had situations where, well, if you purchase a home and you haven't yet sold yours, can you sleep at night? Are you comfortable? Are you an anxious, worried wreck for the next, 2-3 weeks, however long it takes for you to sell your house and get it prepared and then sell it? And I've had that happen sometimes, and people have sworn, Andrew, I'm never doing that again. And the reason is they didn't consider their psychology. So days on market, your area and theirs, and of course, your psychology. And lastly, there's some tips there. And Joe, I'm going to get your input on this one as well. Once you've considered those things, there are some things you need to consider as well while you're thinking about this process. So it's good to have contingency plans.
Absolutely.
Like contingency plans usually means someplace to store your things if you sell quicker than you buy in terms of the closing. What about staying with family? Is that an option? Staying in a hotel or something like that, is that an option?
Yes.
If you get an amazing offer for your home, but that means you got to stay in a hotel for 5 days, is that going to put you out? Is $50,000, $100,000 worth being in a hotel with the family for a week? Maybe you can make it a vacation. The point is, there's that. And Joe knows about another very important aspect. What if you get a great offer, but the closing and the place you're selling is past the closing for the place you're buying? Now you own 2 homes for a matter of a week, 2 weeks, sometimes up to a month or more. This involves something called bridge financing. And Joe, I know you know a lot about that.
Yeah, bridge financing is something that I really get into with a lot of our buyers, and that is exactly what you're saying. When you're buying your house first and you haven't sold your house yet, right? So your house is still going to be sold, like the closing date's still a few weeks ahead. So for that sort of thing, there's something called bridge financing that we can add on to your mortgage. It's a component to your mortgage, and we approve that with the mortgage, with the same mortgage company. And we roll that into all your closing costs. So it's a very smooth process for you as the buyer. But we really do need to work with your real estate agent to make sure that we get the dates lined up so we can make sure that you can own those homes simultaneously for, whether it's a few days or a few weeks. And I mean, that usually helps out with a lot of practical things, moving your items over as well. Maybe the buyers, Andrew, that you found the house for, maybe they want to paint the house before they move in.
True. There could be lots of different reasons. And again, having contingencies for those specific things is very important. I had one client borrow or rent the seller's garage for a week before they closed so they could store some things in there. They agreed to it, signed a promissory note. There were no problems there. So there's little things like that. But as always, Joe, we always mention the key is to be ready. And one of the things that's amazing, especially about things like bridge financing and those kinds of things and loans, is that you could know about what you can and can't do long before you even get into the process. And again, as we spoke about at the very beginning of even before you start the process, got to get the pre-approval. Talk to Joe, get the valuation for your home, find out how much financing you have. And if later down the line, it's even an option for you to have a bridge financing, Joe can know that in in advance. That way, there are no surprises later on. And should you have to do that, you don't have to be too worried. Wait, you know what? We were discussed it. I know it can be done.
That's right. Andrew, that's great. Great tips today, on our video today. Should I wait to sell until I can find a new home? That's a great resource. If anyone of you are watching, feel like this information can help your friends or family, please share it to them or send them this video. Or if anyone wants some more information from either Andrew or myself on mortgages, send us a private message or comment below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you ever are looking to have more videos from us, let us know what is on your mind, and we'll try to make a custom video to answer your question. Don't forget, if you want to start a pre-approval today, contact me below and you'll be entered into a gift card draw for a $100 HomeSense or Canadian Tire gift card. So Andrew, thanks for joining us today, and I hope you have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. Thank you guys for watching.